This podcast is highly sponsored by Thrivease. Thrivease is the first mental health product line with affordable products you can use whenever you need something to lean on for emotional or mental support. Currently, we have coloring books of all ages and affirmation mugs. There are some new products coming up, so you need to make sure that you check out Thrivease on Instagram and Facebook so that you don't miss out on the updates. And yes, listener donations are also welcome. You can drop your donation on 0770-338-440. The number is registered in the names of Navu Network. If you're not in Uganda, remember to add the country code +256 770 338 440. Hey, welcome to #WinDubGuzichiwanuka. This is the #1 African millennial podcast that sits at the intersection of mental health, self-discovery, and personal growth. If you're new here, welcome to your new virtual home. Be sure you hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening in so that you don't miss out on any of the future episodes. And if you're a returning listener, thank you so much for being the heartbeat of the show. Bro, can someone just tell me how today is 30th October? How? Just how? It's like I need someone to invite me and take me through a PowerPoint presentation of, okay, this is what happened in January, then we entered February, because what do you mean we are coming to the end of the year? The last week I don't even know if it was just last week, but I was going through these periods of, wait, I think today is Wednesday. And I'm like, wait, what? Tomorrow is Saturday. Like, oh my, that's like at 10 a.m. And then at 1, I'm scheduling some meetings. I'm like, we still have a couple of days. I'm like, wait, tomorrow is the weekend. Oh my God. What happened? I don't know if I'm supposed to say that I'm glad I don't have New Year resolutions, but I want to find out, how far are you with your New Year resolutions? Because if I had any, I'm not so sure. Okay, I think there is one specific one that I had towards the close of, actually during this period last year. I've been hinting on it a little bit somewhere. For those that have been attentive, I'm sure you're aware that I quit formal employment and I'm doing mental health advocacy full time. And legal work has become my part-time. But how did we get to October? That's what I really want to understand. Whatever the case, let's get into the conversation. So today's conversation is going to be mostly on reflections of this month, the things that I've seen, the things that we're supposed to be doing, or things that will be happening in the coming month. Bro, we are really closing the year. Calm down. Yes, indeed. We are in the last quarter of 2024. And I don't know how long back, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, or even last month, I landed on, I think it was a full video from Mel Robbins. And in it, she was talking about how New Year resolutions aren't really a thing that work. That when you start, let me say, 2025, that is coming up, and you're like, this is my New Year resolution, I'm going to be doing this in 2025. Usually you have this imagination that I have a full 366 days to accomplish this, and before you know it, you've come from the festive season, money is spent, or it's even a cold season. Now she was talking about this in accordance with their seasons, that they have the winter season, autumn, summer, and whatever, and they have particular things that happen during that period. So I think she was talking about it from, I think in January, it's still winter and there is not much that someone can do. And then summer, I don't know what happens, somewhere there in the middle of the year. And then after the first half of the year, there is what? Autumn? I don't know. I don't know what's happened. There's a season there. And she was like, in September, between September and October, that's where people become more productive. Something. She said something in relation to that. It's like, I don't think that relates to me. But I've been having conversations with Okay, I don't think it's many people. Or it must have been a realization out of my reflection, like, wait, what happens between these months? Because last year, towards the end of September is when I made the decision, like, oh, bro, it's time for me to leave this workplace. I'm done. I am done. Like, I'm out. But I had to wait until the end of the year because there were some things that had to be ironed out. But then I realized that when I was doing the preparations, especially for, the podcast is about to make 5 years. And then in this preparation, I realized, wait, the mental health garage is making a year. Wait, Thrivease is also going to be making a year. So I'm like, wait a minute, what happens? Or what happens to my creative spirit when the year is about to close? I just don't know. Because even when it came to the preparation for last year's podcast live, my first ever podcast live, the preparation started towards the end of 2022. I was like, I think I can do this. Like, I don't know. I need to find out how this works because I don't think this is something that works best on the season. That for us, it's winter and therefore we should be proactive about our goals and things like that. Most of these things, these ideas that I come up with in these, 4 months, 3 months of the year, I have not had these ideas at the beginning of the year. I don't know how this works. I need someone to explain this to me as well. I don't know. How does it work for you? How far are you with the New Year resolutions? Do you walk through your resolutions? Or is it something that always also comes at the end of the year? I want to hear from you. Anyway, as we figure out that, I do appreciate the fact that in this month, we've navigated some deep waters around mental health at work, sparked by the year's Mental Health Day theme. And through your survey responses and our in-depth conversation with our resident psychiatrist, we've learned so much together. So today I want to share some reflections, answer a few lingering questions, and let you in on some exciting updates. Anyway, so the very first reflection that I have, we are going to be talking about the conversation we had with our resident psychiatrist. Our conversations zoomed in on the mental health in workspaces, and my major takeaway was, yes, the work environment plays a role in our mental health, but our own self-care practices matter too. It was a reminder that sometimes we need to look inward and ask ourselves, am I prioritizing my mental well-being in ways I can control? Am I? Like, if you're truly honest, and it's a thing about, it's very easy for us to point fingers where other people are failing or where they're failing us. But what is our contribution in this failure? The workload is crazy, but when I leave work, what happens? Do I have time for myself? Do I create? Am I intentional about my own self-care? So that was really major. And also the part that where he said that there is no such thing as work-life balance, but rather life balance. I was like, major nugget. So if you missed this conversation, I invite you to go and check out the conversation with Dr. Agaba. He's the only Dr. Agaba on the podcast. He has shown up a couple of times, but for this specific conversation, you can just check for the episodes that have been released this month and listen in to that specific conversation. And I think this is a question that had come from the concern I raised from some of the responses that came in from the Mental Health at Workspace survey. So that survey had 48 responses as we stand today. And I realized that be it people in full employment or those that are doing freelance work or self-employed, they're all struggling with work-life balance because that's the language that we use. And I'm like, wait, what? How is it possible? Okay. I was going to pretend to be shocked and I realized alone, but I realized that, my life is not well balanced. So anyway, let me just stop acting like I'm surprised and just invite all of us to advocate for a wholesome life experience that yes, work exists and this part of life is also alive. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend to be shocked that, hey, how come? I just shot myself in the foot. But some of the questions that really made me sit back were, are mental health sick days? No, wait. I think, are mental health day offs considered as sick days? And are mental health days legal? I was like, I actually feel like I should have looked that up before, because at least, okay, that's a conversation for another day. I feel like I should have looked that up and see how other countries operate. But I remember there was a time when I walked into a particular workspace and someone told me that someone had taken mental health leave, something of that kind. And I was like, oh, cool, nice. But I'll still draw you back to the conversation I had with Dr. Agaba. In it, I shared about how in 2021, I forced myself to have a conversation with my former boss, and I really, really give him props for that. I had a conversation with him about mental health. To be honest, I went in ready to fight because I thought he was going to trivialize the matter, but he was very welcoming with the conversation, and he asked me this question that I'll keep sharing about. He was like, you need to tell me when you feel like you can't perform, like when you feel spent. But this was a follow-up on his own experiences when he shared. He was like, why do you think I leave work before 5 and never return? Sometimes I'm seated at my computer, I'm having calls come in, I cannot pick the calls from the clients. I am truly looking at my computer, but my hands cannot move. So are these days legal? Are they supposed to be considered sick days? I believe they should, to be honest, because if you can't perform, then what's the point? I'd like to hear from you though. I think I'll share my think piece when I do some research, but I believe we should take these days. What do you think? As you think about the whole thing, I would like us to dive into our third reflection. Now, this very one, this is indeed the Mental Health Awareness Month, because the other takeaway that I took, I feel like it's a repetition, but the other thing that shocked me, I don't know, if I say, oh my God. So I went to have a conversation with some teenagers about a new product that we are creating. And I realized that stigma around mental health is still very real. And I'm saying this because I had this imagination that the younger generation is a lot more aware of mental health. But to have to sit with them and hear them say things like, how about you change the product name so that we avoid the word mental? They were worried that they might be bullied when they're found with this specific product. I wanted to say, imagine in 2024, but I know it's happening, but I thought that for the younger generation, they are more embracing of these conversations or are more embracing. I was like, wait. The younger people are still carrying the weight of this stigma. And I'm also wondering like, okay, so why am I surprised if stigma, the HIV stigma is still rife with us, even after over 3 decades? I think this goes to show how very important it is for us to keep working toward a world where mental health isn't something anyone has to hide. I swear, I thought these kids, the Gen Zs, I thought they're going to take us full speed. Like they are aware of their mental health and would look like the people to look up to if they are advocating for this or if they're checking in with themselves. But they're like, how about you remove this? Like, we like the product, it's very effective for us, we love it, but I don't think I want to open my bag and someone sees that. I was like, okay. That broke my heart, but I didn't actually want to show them. And we also had a very limited time. Now, we're still going back into the product creation, and you're like, so what happens? Do I yield into the power of the stigma? How do we work around this? Of course, if we're creating something for the teenagers, we definitely have to hear their voices and meet them where they are emotionally. So it's upon us. As adults, we have to increase our literature on mental health so that we can help the younger people to embrace it as well. And this takes us to my fourth reflection. This is not even a reflection. This is more like ding, ding, ding. Notice. Oh, by the way, on 27th, I had forgotten this. On 27th October, we made it to the first year of the Mental Health Garage. Last year, we had the very first session where Tina and Tulo of Malachi Center and Lona Nakawiye of Kampala Counseling Services, they gave us an opportunity to reach out to them and seek their services at a subsidized fee. We had attendees that took so much from stress management skills. Yeah, we should have had more. But a lot has been happening, my friend. Yeah. But yes, let us go to the fourth reflection. This is like a side note, but I think it should have been amongst the reflections. So yes, ding, ding, ding. Mental Health Garage went into the first year. And on November, we are going to be making Thrivease's first year as well. So the reflection that we're supposed to be, the ding, 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 the notice. We are going to be having new product prices. So what we are doing for this ding, ding, ding is a price update for those who love our coloring books. That is what has mostly been on the market. Of course, the mugs have been present as well, but they haven't sold out as much as the coloring books have been. So we had to do the 25,000 price for like a month so that, it's a launch. Yay, excitement. I had some people with me that were like, no, you need to take back the price to the way it should be. And I also made an announcement like, oh, by the way, we shall be changing the price, but I did not. So coming next month, the prices are going to be increased by 5,000. So the anti-stress coloring book will be going for 30,000 shillings. And the kiddies version that has the wildlife and an emotional wheel at the end where they can reflect and be introduced to the uncomfortable and comfortable emotions will go for 25,000. The Mpelekeze that I created that has toddlers fighting for their siblings' books will stay as such. It will stay at 15,000. But for the other two, 30,000 and 25,000 is the price. And for those who are in Kenya, I got news for you. Hey, got news for you. Yeah. So for those in Kenya, you can I was going to say attain. Excitement is too much. For those in Kenya, you can just walk to Nuria bookstore. Friend. Even just saying that, I'm like, For those in Kenya, you can just walk to Nuria bookstore and get your coloring books at I was going to say at 5,000. No, at 1,000 Kenya shillings. You're getting the book? No. You're not getting the book. You're getting yourself a product that's going to help you wind down, take you away from digital intoxication, and relieve your stress at just 1,000. And you have the tools with it. Like, I am giving you the goat and I'm giving you the rope at 1,000 Kenya shillings. This takes me to our last but not least. Ding, ding, ding. The podcast is making 5 years. Yeah. I am so geared up for this major milestone. I swear, I've been downplaying the years going by, but I realize it is not a good thing. I've been downplaying the milestones of the podcast, like, okay, yeah, that has happened. So what? Okay, we made it to 10,000. So what? Okay. And it has been killing my production, I think. The fact that I don't recognize or sit down and recognize the milestones that I get to, I think it kind of contributes to my burnout sessions. Like, oh my God, I'm just spent. I don't even think this thing works. But if I had time, if I created time, like if I was intentional about celebrating, like, oh my God, we did this. Oh my God, I brought this guest. Oh my God, this person just came. Like, they really, really did. My biggest fear about celebrating these milestones has been, wait, so if I focus so much on this, I think it will take me away from the major goal of the podcast. So yeah, it has happened, but yeah, let's just switch it off. Let's just take it away. Just sweep it away before it distracts me. Let's go back to the last ding, ding, ding. I am so geared up for the major milestone of making it to 5 years. And I recently found out that the 5th anniversary is called the Wood Anniversary. Like the way how you hear platinum, gold, century. Ha! This one is Wood Anniversary. So I'm thinking we should go with brown as our theme color for the celebration. What do you think? I want this celebration to have all of us and everything we've learned along the way. Like, I was asking some months ago, like, yo guys, what do you think we can do? You know, some people shared their suggestions and I'm supposed to go back to them and have a look at them, probably share something on the polls and see what people are selecting. But tell me, what are you doing on November 30th? Mark it with a brown color because it's going to be the day we're choosing for a wood celebration. Of course, the date falls on 30th December, but I'm not going to call anyone on 30th September. People are in the villages. They have traveled to I don't know where, you know. So we've pulled it in on 30th November. If anything changes, of course, there will be a communication. But yeah. How about you color brown? So it reminds you, we are doing the wood celebration. Without me taking more of your time, allow me to thank you for being here, for sharing your stories, and for being part of this journey. So what plans do you have? I'm still asking, what plans do you have on 30th November? I would love to celebrate with you. Of course, there is food. You don't hang out with me and you don't eat. Yeah? But prepare your money. Prepare your money. But until then, let us keep taking care of ourselves and catch you next time. Sorry, I have been reminded that I did not ask you to hit the subscribe button. Yeah. So wherever you're listening in, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on whatever is cooked for you for the month of November. We are going to close this year. Season 5 is about to close, man. A lot has happened. So catch you next month. Goodbye.